Over the past couple of months, I've created 4 short films. These films are Unexpected, The Promise, Broken, and Inverted. Unexpected is about a man who is dying in his office. Through flashbacks we learn that he has heart disease, but then we also find out that the reason he is dying is because his girlfriend poisoned him. My role on the film was editor and second AC. I decided to take on an extra role as I knew as editor I wouldn't be on the set and I really wanted to get some experience in that. To prepare for my roles, I combined my lecture notes with research from the internet, finding out what goes on a clapperboard. I found out that you write MOS on a clapperboard if you are not recording sound, and you write sync if you are recording sound and filming as well. Although I wasn't director, I still gained inspiration from a Netflix series called Maniac. It uses a lot of vibrant colours, and that's what we were kind of going for with the red room that starts the film. It just sets up from the beginning that this is like a dangerous place, and it just creates a sense of instability in the audience. While editing, to keep continuity, I used match on action. So when one of the characters goes to pick up a picture of his girlfriend, I cut between an over-the-shoulder shot and a close-up. I did this to position the audience and make them identify with the character, as you can see their emotions. I also used non-diegetic sound in a minor key to give a full sense of security to the audience, making you think that the girlfriend is this nice character when really she isn't. During flashbacks, I also used a heartbeat sound effect to remind the audience that not everything is as it seems, and in the background he still has heart disease. I also found a tension building sound effect online, which I used in the title sequence, and then it cuts straight to a dolly zoom to create that kind of stressed out effect. On the first film I was actually moving house, so at the time I wasn't able to speak to the director as much as I would like to. One thing I did struggle with is because we didn't have a rig when it came to stabilising the clips. For some reason there was this weird effect, and I don't think it wasn't intentional, and it kind of gave a grainy effect. To avoid any accidents occurring, we kept all of our bags and food and everything on the tables, nothing was on the floor. I was standing by the behind the scenes camera and the tripod at all times. The Promise is about 2 bank robbers who hide in a hotel, but Jacob, the main character, soon finds his loyalty shifting when he's visited by an unexpected guest. The unexpected guest is his conscience in the form of a woman basically telling him, like, do you have to be like this every time we meet? That he was going to leave this lifestyle and the only way out is to get away from Matt. As I was director on this film, my vision was to have like a mirror effect where he's kind of inside his conscience thinking about the situation he's in before it plays out. I wanted the actors to be very stressed, very heated, obviously, because he just robbed a bank. So I've never robbed a bank, so I don't know what that's like. I just basically spoke to the actors and told them, like, imagine yourself trying to tell yourself that you're a good person when you're not, or not even necessarily that, but trying to work with your conscience to come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, I kind of promised myself to do this and then I never did it, and I've been stuck in a loop ever since. With the female actor Mina, I wanted her to be very methodical, but very kind of a bit jarring. The story is actually based on Dirk Weiser or Visa's bad trip. The DP worked with me to create a new ending where in the end Jacob shoots Matt because he holds a gun to what he thinks is his conscience, the mirror. He's just imagining pointing the gun, when in real life he is holding the gun, so he ends up shooting Matt in reality. For this film I was inspired by The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, in the scene where they're all standing in a circle and it cuts and the pace of editing gets quicker to eventually someone gets shot and it's like a wide shot to release. And if you have a look at like the scenes where he's in the mirror, it is very like enclosed, not only in terms of framing, like with camera wise, but also internal framing with the mirrors literally being all around him. And then we have that kind of release after he shoots Matt. We get close-ups of both of them to see their emotion, and then we've kind of left with like a medium long shot of him leaving, so it's like the situation has been resolved, or he has eliminated the cause of the stress, which in a way that's what I was going for, that his conscience is reminding him he's the only one that's forcing you to be in this lifestyle and you don't want to, and you promised that you were going to get out of it. Broken is about a girl who's having a nightmare. It's a really kind of trippy nightmare, and when she wakes up she thinks that the nightmare is over, and when she pours some milk, the milk changes to maggots to just show that like she wasn't dreaming. We kind of focused on Broken being more symbolic. For this film I was producer and actor. Although I didn't come up with the idea for this film, I kind of came up with the ideas for the costumes and the look and feel of it. I was very inspired by 50s outfits, trying on hats and scarves around my hats, and as I've recently started tap dancing, I was kind of looking into like outfits that go with that anyway. That was so the sound wasn't parallel to the mise-en-scène, and that just kind of further demonstrates the symbolic way we were trying to show Broken, something being broken, is that broken conventions. So when the director told me about that, I kind of had a vision straight away of like a 50s outfit, a nice hat, nice scarf, cup and saucer, you know, nice and cute outfit, but then it's two ends of the spectrum, nice and innocent and cute, and then it's just really trippy and weird and strange. In terms of health and safety for this film, because we were in public, obviously we had to be careful about equipment, just to make sure that someone was by the equipment at all times. I always made people aware where the bags and the tripods were, just so that no one tripped. When it came to the maggots, we didn't put them anywhere near our mouths, or made sure we washed our hands after we touched them. And when breaking the saucer from the cup and saucer, I made sure that everyone was standing well back, including myself, so that it could break and no one would get hurt. Inverted is about a girl that is basically practicing her tap dancing. She doesn't really know any of it yet, she's like a beginner. The way I wanted to play on Inverted is that it literally sends you like the way you feel when you're dancing, when you're exercising, when you're feeling like in the zone. It can make you feel like you're in a different reality, or like a different inverted world. What I did was, for this I only used 2 locations. I wanted it to be very simple. I got inspiration from this because I recently started tap dancing myself. I had a look at lots of random pictures of like Broadway and West End to see what kind of outfits they wear with their tap shoes, and it's very frilly, very like 50s feminine looks, but then kind of suave clothing at the same time. So the idea I had for that was to wear a frilly dress that I had, a bow tie, so it's like a masculine feminine look in a way. I also watched the Broadway show Hamilton on the internet, and kind of their clothing from like the 1700s. As I said again, like very suave clothing, and they had what looked like brogues. I was very much inspired by La La Land and Greatest Showman just for their long takes. Although long takes can build tension, they also can position the audience, and the audience is with me when I'm practicing, and they don't cut away, they stay with me for the duration and they experience the same thing I am. The transition I had for this was me tapping my foot on the floor. VFX came in from the little glittery pieces that come off my shoe. I used green screens from the internet and looked on the internet for music with a kind of jazz beat to it that would fit tap dancing. I not only directed this one, but I also edited and produced it. It was an awful lot of calling community centres to find a place. Any dancing or exercise could result in injury, so I just made sure that I warmed up. It was a wide open space, so there was no risk of me hitting into anything. From these 4 short films, I've learned a lot about how to work with other people, but I think I've been able to try a range of different jobs, producing, directing, editing. Going forward, I'm going to definitely be more organised with my time. So thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.